Morning friends, it's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. Hope you're doing well. Still feeling pretty low energy, but I'm going to try to get some work done out here today. I have already harvested at home for bouquets this week, and now I need to harvest the Ami Magus and the Orlea for bouquets. And I still have tulips, thankfully, in the fridge that I can use because at this point we're pretty much out of flowers. So after I harvest, then we're going to transplant. I've got zinnias and the grasses to transplant, and we'll put them in one of these beds that's protected with the screening. Things are looking pretty good. The straw flower is finally growing. I don't know. I feel like the feverfew should be much bigger than it is, but I'm not sure what to do at this point. Sunflowers look like they're all still here, so that's all good news. All right, I'm going to get started harvesting, and then we can get the transplanting done. Then we're going to head back home. I would stay here and move wood chips, but it's almost midday and the bees are very active right now, so I'd rather come out and do that early in the morning tomorrow. Instead, we're going to go home, and I've got some more tomatoes to transplant, as well as some more perennials for pollinators for the pollinator patch in the garden. And then I have a whole selection of plants for an extension of a shade garden. So looking forward to getting all that done today. So let's get going. Well, that's it for the transplanting. I just spent the last half hour walking the whole irrigation line. It's not working again. And I didn't see any cuts in the irrigation. In fact, it's high pressure until we get right here. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know, maybe. So I'm wondering if I need to get Mike's help and pull all this up. So here's the main line that comes down from up above. Yeah, there's nothing in here. I can feel it in here. There's water still in here. I'm sorry, I think this is the one. Anyway, so it's being pinched or something somewhere. It's really frustrating. So the only way to figure that out is to pull all of that stuff off of there. It's possible a rat or something ate through the tubing, but that's going to be a big job because that's all the heavy stuff. Basically, that means taking all this stuff off, pulling up the main line, and just trying to find where it is either crimped or cut through. And if it's under the tarp, we wouldn't be seeing any, spray or leaking or anything like that. But this is pretty crucial because if these beds don't get water, then everything that's in them dies. I mean, I can come out here and hand water, but that's not sustainable. Number one, because I'll run out of the water in the IBC tote. So yeah, that means I need to get him to come out here with me tomorrow and try to do this. I would like to do it early in the morning so that we can move all this before the bees are active, and see what we can find. Seriously, it's like I just get things going, and that might be why some of the zinnias and all the basil died, because it had no water. All right, I need to go home and eat some lunch. I did hand water in all of the transplants that I just put in. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a big problem. Okay, guys, we'll pick back up at home. We'll get those tomatoes transplanted and maybe start working on the shade garden, depending on how much time we've got. So on the way home to have lunch, it occurred to me what I could do is just run new line. So, because if I have to take everything off of that tarp, it's a lot of work and effort, and there may not be a break under there. It runs under the tarp, under the fence, and like around the beehives. Like it's a lot of line. So what I'm going to do is run new line, because I have the tubing, and I went home and picked up one of the connectors that I need. So I will just run a new line in front of the tarp, right next to the pathway, so that way I can constantly see, monitor it, and I'll know if something eats through it. And also it will prevent me from having to take all of the heavy stuff off of that tarp, pull it back, and do the work. So I'm gonna get that done. I will film as much as I can. It is 2 p.m., almost 2 p.m., and the bees are super active. So I'm really hoping I can get this done, because it's kind of close to their territory. I'm just hoping that they're out foraging and they will, for the most part, leave me alone. So let's go see if we can get this done. This will be great if this is the fix. I will have to run back up, turn on the water, and then back down and come to check it to make sure. But I think this is going to work. Okay, so what I need to do is find the correct line. You see there's two lines here. One of these lines feeds this bed, feeds all of these beds. The other line, which I think is the one at the top, goes all the way down to the other end of the property and feeds that stuff down there. So I just need to find this line, which actually I have now, and I will run a new connection off of it from right here where I can see it. And then we'll just come this way, because I've got all that tubing there, and connect it to the tubing down there. And I think that will be good and we'll be all set. Oh, I do have to also connect it to this right here, which is not hard at all. But in order to have enough pressure for these beds, I had to enclose them so they're connected on this side and on that side. Otherwise, there wasn't enough pressure. So I'm gonna get some clippers and some gloves, because it's gonna be really pokey back there, and go ahead. And the nice thing is it's hot outside, and this tubing, when it's hot, is much more malleable, way easier to manipulate over those connectors. So let me go get my clippers, and then we will hopefully be able to resolve this in a matter of a few minutes. We have success. That worked. However, I cut the wrong tube. So there's two, that run that way. And of course, the first time I cut the wrong one. So right now, this goes to the south end of the property. I'm sorry, the east end. That's just gonna be sealed off right now. There's nothing down there other than the sweet peas, and I'm gonna fix this tomorrow. So, and what I'm gonna do, I do have tubing still over here, but it's way bigger than the connectors that I have. So what I'm gonna do is just get some more of this, and we'll make this a little bit longer so it doesn't come right through here, because we park here when there's no piles of stuff. And then I'll get some more to connect here all the way down to the second line, which actually isn't that far, could be right over there. So I can do that tomorrow, but at least now I know that these plants are getting water, and they're on a timer for an hour now, which is good because they need it. They need it. When I was transplanting today, I was noticing how dry the soil felt, and I thought, it should have run this morning. And there was some water coming out, but very little. Yeah, this is running now. I can hear it. That's always a good sign. So these guys will run for an hour. It'll help them out a whole lot. I need to go pick up Aiden because he's going to get out of school in moments, and I'm not there yet. And then tomorrow I can do the rest of the irrigation for down there just by connecting that. I just need to get more tubing. Okay, so when we get back, we can start working with some of those tomatoes, and I also have a bunch of bouquets to make. Well, I just finished making bouquets for the CSA. First of all, there's still an issue with the irrigation. There's still a pressure issue because not everything is getting as much water as it should. So I still need to troubleshoot that, even though the main problem has been taken care of. So we'll see how it is tomorrow when we get out there. But I did want to show you the bouquets. Everything in the bouquets except for this alstroemeria is from either the farm or from here, which is great because there's very little to harvest at this point for the CSA, and this is the week where everybody in the program gets a bouquet. It's the bi-monthly people as well as the weekly people. Each bouquet has Dusty Miller that is close to blooming. Some people got alstroemeria, some people got freesia, because I have freesia in the front garden. We've got either Amimagus or Orlea. And then there's tulips, which you can't really see because I make them deeper because they're going to get taller. And of course the alstroemeria. Those tulips will open and the alstroemeria will open because those are pretty closed tightly right now. And they'll look really lovely in the vase. And the freesia just smell amazing. The funny thing about those is they showed up in my potted fig like 7 years ago, and every year they just multiply. I never planted them, they just appeared there. So either a bird brought in some seeds or something, but I think it's really funny. So it's nice because there are, I get like 4 weeks of stems off of them. And they smell wonderful, and it doesn't take much in a bouquet. Okay, it is late. I need to get dinner started. So tomorrow we will do the planting up front here. I'll show you what we've got for that. And then we'll do the start the new shade garden bed. But for tomorrow, so I only got 4. I just needed 4 tomatoes because that's all I have space for. I got 1 Abraham Lincoln and the rest are Ace, which are very disease resistant. So I think that'll be perfect. They're big. They'll go in the ground in that same tomato bed, and we'll set them up on Florida Weave, and they'll be good to go. Then for the pollinator patch, I needed some stuff up front that is low growing. This is Candy Tuft. It's a white variety. I have 2 of them here. They will get 6 to 12 inches high, and their spread is about 12 to 24 inches. And then this guy here, so pretty. This is a verbena called Flare Peach, but it is not an upright verbena. It is a prostrate one, so it'll be almost like a ground cover. 6 to 12 inches high, 15, let's see. It doesn't say how much the spread is, but I think when I was at the nursery, I think they said the spread was 12 to 24 inches. So this will go in, these 2 varieties will go in the front of the pollinator patch where I needed something low, and that will fill in and it'll look lovely. The stuff up here that we planted is looking good. I water it every couple of days because, again, it doesn't want a ton of water, but I do want them to settle in. We've got some buckwheat that's coming back, which is great. And yeah, everything else is looking good. I love these. It's even hard to get to the gate now because these California poppies. I sowed these seeds like 2 years ago, and this year was the year. So they're just looking wonderful. Yeah, so everything else is going well. When it comes time to do this shade garden, it's not going to be a huge space because I don't have enough soil for that. But that's what all the soil over here is for. This is the remaining soil that was on the driveway. It's all in, containers now. That will be a ground cover in the spot that we're going to put our shade plants, and then I'm just going to pop those in. And so I got some hostas. I love hostas, and I did have hostas planted in this front garden here. But as much as I love hostas, deer love them even more. They got eaten right away, and they've never come back. So these guys are going to go in the backyard because that's all fenced in, and no deer will be back there. There are still a few things I do need to take care of though in this bed, like this. So we used to have a big giant loropetalum here. We took that out this year or last year, but what you see here is cleavers. They are everywhere, and actually, no. I was gonna say, I think this might be hemlock, but it's not. So anyway, cleavers are super sticky. They're like Velcro, but they even stick to your skin. So they're actually kind of hard to get rid of, but they're starting to go to flower. I do not want them to sow in here. They're everywhere across the street. So I need to come in here tomorrow. I'm actually gonna wear like surgical gloves because they'll stick to regular gardening gloves, and just come in here and pull them all up. They're pretty shallowly rooted. It won't be a big deal, and it'll just quickly get rid of those because they will take over a whole area. There are some medicinal uses for cleavers. I don't know what they are. I'd have to look it up, but I don't think I have a reason to keep them. So they'll just go to the green municipal compost because I don't want the seeds of these guys going in my own compost. Okay, before we close out for today, I just wanted to show you. So this azalea is finishing up, and the pink one behind it is kind of midway, but look at this camellia. It has never produced that many flowers before. This is a very happy, very happy shrub. Sad thing is it's going to have to come out. All of these are going to have to come out because of the new Firewise regulations. However, and you can see we've got 4 camellias, and then the rest of this is all azaleas. But I got to tell you, it's okay with me because these guys are acid-loving plants, and the soil pH here is an 8. And so they struggle. I have to give them 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times a year, iron sulfate to acidify the soil just so they don't turn yellow and start dying. So they're gonna come out. The new rule is you can't have any plantings within 5 feet of your house. And so what we'll do, I think, is xeriscape this. I mean, they do have some plants that you could put in that are Firewise. And this walk is not direct sun. So I don't really want to deck it out with a whole bunch of like cactuses and stuff because they won't get enough sun. So I think we're just going to gravel this bed, and maybe we can put in some big pots on like, risers or whatever with various things in them that like shade. We can always move those whenever we need to, so they won't be in-ground plantings. Haven't figured that out yet, but we are approaching the time where we're going to have to start making those decisions. But anyway, I just love that camellia. It's too bad that they don't make a great cut flower. Not so much because of how the flower holds up, but more that the stems are not very strong at all. So like the main stem is, but the main stem has a lot of individual flowers on it, and then they shatter when they start getting old like that. But the stems themselves, like, it's really hard to get a long enough stem that just has like your one flower, and you could do a spray like that, but they tend to flop over really easily in the vase and they don't hold up very well. So it's kind of a shame because they are gorgeous. I mean, look at that geometry. Just beautiful. This guy is going to keep going for quite a while because it's still got a lot of buds that are just opening on it. It's so pretty. And then the other two so we have another pink one there, and then the other two are a pink and white version, and they bloom in like February, so much earlier. So they're done for the year. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for me. Like I said, it's late. I need to get started on dinner. So thank you for hanging out with me. We've got more transplanting to do tomorrow and get started on this new garden bed. And I also still am gonna go back out to the farm and recheck how things are doing after getting their morning watering, plus fix that one hose that I cut the wrong one. So I'll get some tubing in the morning. I just want to get that all fixed so I know it's working, and then I can troubleshoot some of those irrigation issues before the heat of the day and when we should be here planting. So thanks again for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.